Chapter 22 The Boys Change and Change Again. Tom joined a new club, the Cadets, for the summer. He liked the showy uniform and the club members wore. He promised not to smoke or chew or swear as long as he remained a member. Now he found out a new thing. Since he had promised not to swear or smoke, he wanted to more than ever. But he wanted to march in the parade in his uniform, and that kept him from quitting the club. On the 4th of July was coming, but Tom wanted to march before then. There was a chance that the old Judge Fraser would die soon, and to have a big public funeral. The cadets always marched at important affairs like that. Tom hoped every day that he would hear the news about the death of the judge, but got out his uniform to practice, marching before the looking glass. But the judge fooled everybody. He got better. Tom was disgusted. He quit the club. That same night, the judge got sick again and died. Tom made up his mind he would never trust a man like that again. The funeral was a fine thing. The cadets marched in their fine style, but not Tom. He was a free boy again. There was something in that, but Tom found, in his surprise, that now that he could swear and smoke and drink, he didn't want to. Tom presently wondered what to do during his vacation. Time was passing too slowly for him. He tried keeping a journal and writing down what he did from day to day, but nothing happened for 3 days, so he gave that up. A traveling show came to town. Then there was excitement. Tom and Joe Harper got up a show of their own and were happy for 2 days. Even the glorious 4th of July fell short for what Tom expected. It rained hard. As a result, there were no parades, no fireworks. Even the important speaker for the day, a real United States Senator, wasn't 25 feet tall, as Tom supposed, but just an ordinary man. A circus came, and after the boys played circus for 3 days in the tent and made their carpets, they charged admission. Boys had paid 3 pins, and the girls, too. A fortune teller and a man who could put people to sleep came. They went again. The village was duller than ever. There was some parties to which both boys and girls were invited, but there were few and so much fun that waiting for the next one only made the time pass even slower. Becky had gone away to another town for vacation, and there was no bright side to life for Tom Sawyer. The dreaded secret of the murder in the graveyard still troubled him. It was always on his mind. Then came the measles. Tom Sawyer was sick in bed for 2 weeks. He was very sick, and he didn't care about anything. When he got upon his feet again at last and took a walk downtown, everything seemed changed. There had been a special church service, and everybody had gotten religion, even the boys and girls. Tom found Joe Harper studying part of the Bible. Tom looked at Ben Rogers and found him taking the little religious book around. Jim Hollis told Tom that he was late sick was a warning. His late sickness was a warning. At last, Tom flew to Huckleberry Finn. Huckleberry's first words were from the Bible. That did it. Tom crept home and to bed, realizing that all of the town, was lost forever and ever. And that night came a terrible storm, with much rain and awful thunder and blinding lightning. Tom covered his head with his bedclothes and waited for the terror to end. He felt sure this storm had been sent for him. By and by, the storm died out. Tom found himself still alive. His first thought was to be thankful and to be a better boy. His second thought was to wait, for there might not be any more storms. The next day, the doctor came back because Tom had gotten sick again. This time, he spent 3 weeks on his back from the measles. The time seemed to age, and when he was able to go out at last, he wasn't sure that he should be grateful for being alive. He remembered how lonely it had been as a bad boy, and how all of his friends were now. He wandered down the street, not interested in anything. He found Jim Hollis acting as a judge that was trying a cat for murdering a bird. A little later, he found Joe Harper and Huck Finn up an alley eating a stolen melon. Tom wasn't lonely anymore. Everything was back to normal.